In recent years, the United States has seen a massive increase in Indian visitors, workers, and students arriving under various visa programs. In 2023 and 2024, the US Ambassador to India announced that over 2 million Indian nationals received a visitor visa to the United States. Now, this was a big jump from previous year, with the number of visitor visa alone nearly doubling from 2022 to 2023. The embassy even reported that over 5 million Indians currently hold United States visas, including multi-year, multi-use visas. While Garcetti proudly highlighted these accomplishments, it's very important to understand that many of these visitors are coming to the US with the intent to work. Many are looking for off-the-books jobs that are not reported or even taxed, which has raised serious concern about illegal labor practices. The sudden rise in visa assurance also sparked a debate over the effect of the influx on the US job market. First of all, let's talk about Biden's approach and Trump's response. The Joe Biden administration had worked really hard to increase visa numbers and reduce wait time for visa processing, which has made it easier for many Indians to travel to the US. However, President Donald Trump's former Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, has a different view. Rubio has directed his department to reverse some of the visa policy that promote illegal immigration and job-seeking visas. In a memo from January 2024, Rubio described this particular issue as one of the most important challenges the US faces today. He emphasized that the department would no longer engage in activities that encourage illegal immigration. Well, the influx of Indian workers into the United States has also raised concern about job displacement. Many young American college graduates are struggling really hard to find jobs, specifically in the tech sector, where many Indian workers are taking away the roles that would have otherwise gone to Americans. Let me give you an example. Recent reports show that even graduates from prestigious schools like Harvard Business School are having a really hard time finding jobs, with 23% of MBA graduates from the class of 2024 still jobless 3 months after graduating. But you know what? On the other side, it is the MAGA who's blaming the Indian students of taking away the jobs. Now, the situation has led to frustration among some Americans who see a significant portion of their job market being taken over by the foreign workers. A tweet from an employer in Silicon Valley described how, during a company meeting, he was the only non-Indian among senior directors and leaders as well. Now, this increasing number of Indian workers in high-paying jobs has sparked debates about the effect on local job markets and the future of American workforce. But I ask you a question. Who is at fault? Indians who are getting a very high-pay job because of their skill set and their education, or it is the employers who want to hire more skilled workers? In the meantime, the US Embassy in India issues wide range of visas, including tourist visa, that is B1 and B2, work visa, that is H1B and L1, and student visa, that is F1. The number of non-immigrant visas given to Indians have skyrocketed. In 2023 alone, nearly 1.4 million visitor visas were approved, which is a significant increase from previous years. Among these, more than 4 lakh H1B work visas were given to the skilled professionals, many of whom are tech workers from India. These numbers reveal a growing trend of skilled Indian workers moving to the states to take up the jobs in fields like IT, engineering, and management. The H1B visa, if we talk in particular, then it has been specifically very controversial. Created in 1990, it allows the US companies to hire foreign workers in specialized fields for temporary positions. While the program is meant to fill job gaps in US labor market, critics argue that it's often used to replace American workers with cheaper labor from countries like India. In fact, many of these workers are staying in the US for a long period of time, sometimes even becoming permanent residents. While Indian workers contribute significantly to the US economy, they are still facing the backlash. The large number of foreign professionals in the country has created tension, or rather, we can also say insecurity. Many argue that this has contributed to a widening income gap and the outsourcing of the jobs. Prominent figures like Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, and Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google, are examples of how successful Indian-born leaders in major US companies are. However, the transfer of jobs and research facilities to India by companies like Microsoft has led to some of the questions whether US workers are being replaced in critical sectors or not. Moreover, L1 visa program allows Indian companies to send their workers to the United States for extended stays. Now, this program has been growing, with Indian multinational companies often taking advantage of the system to move employees into high-paying US jobs, bypassing American workers. Many people have raised concern about visa fraud as well and the ease with which some individuals manipulate the system. Let me give you an example. There have been reports of people using fake marriages or providing false information to get US visa. The US government has imposed small fines on companies like Infosys for using B1 visas for workers, even though this is against the law. The number of visa fraud cases have only increased as more people look for ways to game the entire system. Now, looking ahead, as more and more workers from India enter the United States, it's clear that the issue of immigration, visa policy, and the future of American jobs will continue to be a very hot topic. With the increasing competition in the job market and growing influence of Indian workers in key sectors, the US must carefully consider how these policies will shape its economy in the coming years. Rather than blaming Indians for taking away the jobs just because they are skilled and labeling them as cheap is not the solution. The debate about whether these visa programs benefit the US or harm American workers will be an important issue for policymakers moving ahead.